Nice! More volunteers for the Justice League Reserve Team. That's awesome! In case you don't know me, I'm David Gansel, and welcome to Armchair Imagineering. As long as Six Flags has an iron-like grip over the DC Comics theme park rides, we're never gonna get a really good Batman ride in the US. We got a pretty good Justice League ride that Batman's in, but good, well-themed Bat-centric rides are forever gonna be restricted to overseas parks. But nothing else I pitch on the show is ever going to happen either, so let's go wild and build a full Batman theme park, or at least a well-themed Batland for a park. Gotham City deserves to be a fully immersive environment, not just a single city block and some crashed cars under a roller coaster in the middle of the desert. We're talking ornate city buildings that house gift shops like Catwoman's Curios, eateries like Egghead's Breakfast Buffet and Mr. Freeze's Liquid Nitrogen Ice Cream, and of course, themed attractions that immerse you in the world of the Caped Crusader. Broadly speaking, the two approaches to theme park attractions based on beloved characters are putting you in the shoes of the characters and putting you in the shoes of yourself encountering the characters. And with Batman, you could do both. Let's be real. The easiest layup that every single park, both domestically and internationally, has utterly failed to deliver on is actually letting you ride the Batmobile. Like, come on, it's gotta be in the top 5 most iconic fictional vehicles of all time, no matter which design you're talking about, and no ride exists where you just ride it? Universal knew that a Back to the Future ride needed to be a DeLorean. Nobody figured out that a Batman ride needed to be the Batmobile? Well, nobody except, like, those little quarter kiddie rides that are in front of grocery stores, but, like, no real ride figured it out? Now, it seems to me that the best way to do a Batmobile ride would be a variation on the Test Track and Radiator Springs Racers model, allowing for both dark ride scenes patrolling Gotham at night and high-speed Batmobiling. Like the early Disneyland dark rides, the idea here is that you are Batman.
Abed is Batman now.
Like the Batman Adventure rides at the various Warner Brothers movie worlds, the queue would take you through Wayne Manor, through the secret passageway, and into the Batcave, where the crime computer is on high alert, and your butler staff would escort you in to the Batmobile. Like the opening of Radiator Springs Racers, you start off by racing out of the Batcave, off toward the Bat Signal. And then the dark ride portion begins as you enter the city, making sharp turns throughout the alleys and coming face to face with several animatronic members of the Rogues Gallery, as well as animatronic members of the Bat family helping you out. Finally, it's time to speed, and instead of your cars veering onto different tracks like on Radiator Springs Racers, you're always on the left track, and the right track would have a Joker-mobile that you go after on a high-speed chase. Then you turn a dark corner and you hear the Joker's car crash. And much like the wreck of the Indiana Jones boulder, you see the wreck of the Joker-mobile, as animatronic Commissioner Gordon has animatronic Joker in handcuffs, and he thanks you, Batman, for a job well done. I guess this could also have a Mario Kart-esque AR element, where the AR goggles are in the Bat cowl, not only allowing for more varied character interactions, but ensuring that you are at least somewhat dressed like Batman while you're playing the role of Batman. But that Mario Kart ride still makes me nauseous, so I'd want to wait until the technology was significantly improved before adding something like that. Anyway, the ride would open, and within 5 years at the most, there would just be so many complaints that you don't actually see Batman in the Batmobile ride. So some story device would be added where you're Batman's new recruit, and he's taking the Bat Cycle and letting you drive the Batmobile as a decoy, and a Bat Cycle is also added to that second track, chasing the Joker-mobile with you, and then when you end up being the one running Joker off the road, the newly added animatronic Batman, standing next to animatronic Joker and Gordon, thanks you for a job well done. But until then, I have a different idea for an attraction that would let you see Batman by putting you in the shoes of different characters. A few years ago, the Warner Brothers studio lot did a Halloween event with mazes, and one of them was an Arkham Asylum maze. This was a decent idea, but I think I can one-up it in terms of Batman Halloween mazes. What if, for this maze, you're not Batman, or even an innocent citizen of Gotham, you're the newest henchman? You're a fresh young face in the cowardly superstitious lot. You're the guy who gets to go, "Hey boss, it's the Bat!" That's right. This is a maze where you're working for the villains as they usher you along a warehouse full of stolen goods, but you get jump scares from Batman and the Bat family out to stop you. until you are finally ushered out into the Gotham City prison. This could be themed after any one of the villains or any combination of them, or it could just be generic Gotham villains. Either way, you get to help the villains out, and you get your just desserts. This could even be a good beginner Halloween maze for kids, because they're probably not going to be nearly as scared once they realize the creature jumping out at them is their friend Batman. Now, probably the best type of Batman attraction that Six Flags parks used to have, but don't so much anymore, are Batman stunt shows. And of course, you could have Batman stunt shows galore, but what if they were happening on the roofs of the Gotham buildings around you? You know, kind of like the stunt show at Avengers Campus, or the stunt shows that still don't really happen at Galaxy's Edge, even though the infrastructure is there for them. And speaking of types of shows that Disney parks do for Marvel and Star Wars, training simulations. But have it be the League of Shadows. That pretty much designs itself. And then the park can be fleshed out with all the existing generic Six Flags rides named after Batman and his villains. As long as you have a few really solid themed attractions, and put them in a land with far better decor than any Six Flags gets you, I can accept the rest of that. I guess the coasters that are just called Batman the Ride are now called, like, the Bat Coaster, to distinguish it from the other Batman rides that are better Batman rides. But how would we decorate the land? Most of what I've pitched so far could fit into basically any version of Batman, and usually theme parks go for a pretty generic merch Batman rather than any specific iteration's design. But what if this park was themed to screen-accurate versions of your favorite Batman movie or TV series? What if you could immersively step into Tim Burton's version of Gotham, or Joel Schumacher's, or Bruce Timm's, or even William Dozier's? What if you were riding not just any old Batmobile, but your favorite Batmobile? This could still be one park where every land is just a different version of Gotham from a different show or movie. The different aesthetics could just go in different sections of the park, but cloning that Batmobile ride in like 9 different places in the same park is unfeasible, and choosing just one of the aesthetics to get that e-ticket is unfair to the other aesthetics. But what if this was a whole chain of Batlands? What if across the country there were different Batman parks, and like the different Disney castle parks around the world, they have similar attractions but in somewhat different settings? One of them could be Burton Batland. That architecture, those designs, those costumes everywhere, they could even have the Joker's parade. One could be Schumacher Batland. I honestly think the oppressively garish architecture of those movies would be way more fun in a theme park context than a big screen context. I guess you could do Nolan Batland, even though the actual buildings there are less interesting because it's basically just Chicago, but the Tumbler would be an interesting vehicle for a Batmobile attraction. And at least that park would have a nice monorail. The animated series Batland would be extra fun. Take Marvel Superhero Island's policy of larger-than-life comic book / Saturday morning designs, but apply the Bruce Timm aesthetics to it? That would be so perfect. And just make sure that there's somewhere in the land that pays proper tribute to Kevin Conroy and Arlene Sorkin. Hell, let's have a darker, edgier, cynical, grown-up park based on the Harley Quinn series. That one can be in Vegas. And we gotta allow Legoland a special contract to license the Batmobile Dark Ride for a Lego Batman Dark Ride. Get Will Arnett in a theme park attraction, and not just a Muppets adaptation of a theme park attraction. I don't know if the style of the Matt Reeves movie is conducive to a theme park or not, but sure, let's throw it in the list too. And Snyder as well, I guess. But you know the one I'm gonna spend all my time at is the Dozier one, baby. Batman 66 Land, my favorite theme park to never exist. Not only would this have far and away the most fun character meet and greets, with all the finest Vincent Price, Milton Berle, and Liberace impersonators who live in a reasonable driving distance, but that Batmobile is the one I want to ride. And let's throw in the Batboats, a la the Storybook Land boats, and a Batcopter simulator complete with Shark Attack. And there could be ones based on specific comic book runs of Batman, based on specific comic artist designs. I don't know that much about comic books, so if there's a comic artist whose designs you want to see brought to life in a theme park, let me know. Now, these Gotham cities don't have to be an entire Batman theme park unto themselves. They could all just be a land in either a brand new, worthy DC park, or Six Flags can get off their asses and make a real effort. I know that what I'm pitching is not what they usually do, but they could if they wanted to. They don't have to add one of these to every Six Flags location, but I know that several of them have more than enough room for expansion to do at least a better themed Gotham land than any of them currently have. And if everyone wants to pick a different Gotham style to emulate, that's all the more incentive for fans to road trip and visit every one. And those are my ideas for how to bring Gotham City to life in a themed environment. But what about you? What would you add to a Batman theme park or themed land? Let's discuss this all in the comments, and until next time, this is Dave, signing off.